Hey guys, in today's video I'm going to show you how to get your ads to show up inside of Google Maps and increase foot traffic to your physical locations. Again, this is perfect if you're a local business and you're trying to increase foot traffic, just because your ads are going to show right in the map where it's going to prompt people to get directions to your store. And again, it's perfect just because not a lot of businesses are utilizing this feature on Google. So now I'll open up Google first, just see if I can get an example. Best restaurants in Sydney as an example. See if any ads pop up. No ads are popping up there. Let's go dentist near me. Cool. So you can see a couple of these are sponsored posts. So these are sponsored posts inside of Google search, essentially. So you can see some of these businesses are utilizing it. Like this business, for example, is utilizing the location. So essentially, if someone clicks there, it'll open up the map and it will prompt them like to actually find the physical location. But more importantly is if you go onto the maps itself, now you still have the function of searching for dentists near you or using it as a search engine. As an example, dentist near me, you can see these top two posts are sponsored posts, as they say there. The benefit of having these listings show up in Google Maps is it sort of shows above everyone else in the area. It sort of puts your business, it gives your business preference. It also adds headlines and descriptions to those sponsored ads. So it prompts people to visit their site. Another key benefit is see all these posts on the map, all these dentists on the map, all these circle icons, where it clearly shows a square icon for the sponsored posts. But also it has the added benefit of the headlines and descriptions on the sponsored post as well, which is pretty cool. You can see how it sort of prompts people to just go straight to your location if they need to. Another good example would be restaurants. If you're running a restaurant and you want to bid on the keywords best restaurants in Sydney, you can. So just looking at this screen, so when typing in best restaurants in Sydney, these two restaurants, because they're utilizing this feature, they are shown above other popular restaurants in Sydney, right? They're all the way in the top. They have their headlines and descriptions with the CTA, with the call to action to their website. Just think about if you're in the city and you're looking for a good restaurant, you search up best restaurants in Sydney. Typically, you would search it up on your Google search, but if you were in the map and you just want to look up best restaurants in Sydney on the map, it'll also bring you here, which is pretty powerful. These are the top two listings above everyone else for highly relevant or high intent keywords like best restaurants in Sydney. I'll also share a screen recording of this just on my phone, because typically people that are going to be using this feature on the maps are going to be searching up on their phones. So on my phone, I'll just go through example where I search up pretty much the same thing, dentists near me, just in Google. On your phone, so I'll go through a quick example on my phone as well. So on my phone, I will just search up dentists near me right in Google search. On Google search, and because you're using your phone, it'll sort of open up the map right underneath the listing post. Similar to how I showed you with this listing here. But on your phone, it's going to open up the map a bit wider. Click on the post on my phone. I'll click on the location on my phone, and it'll open up the map. I then have the option to either call the business, click get directions directly to the business, or visit the business's website, which is pretty powerful. You can see how it sort of shows above pretty much all your competition, especially if you're in businesses where you typically don't need to visit the business's website, like you just need to go straight to the location. Another example would be liquor stores as well, for example. Like you don't really need to visit a liquor store's landing page. You just want to sort of know where is the closest liquor store, or I guess the closest one on the map in this instance. So before I get started with the actual setup and the sort of requirements you need to get this sort of running in your Google Ads account, I'll quickly take you through a live account. So this business just recently joined with me. Essentially, their main goal is just to increase foot traffic to their physical, which we use this sort of location settings, these map ads to do so. Just as an example, you can see in the last 14 days, we've only spent $590, but they've managed to generate, we've only spent $590, they managed to generate 10 calls from that listing, but also 37 get directions. So get directions would be just popping back to here. If I click on this, get directions would be people clicking this button right here to get directions to your location, essentially, right? Pretty powerful. Obviously, not all these people are actually showing up to your business, but majority of them are going to be showing up, and also the people that aren't showing up are sort of just getting an idea of how far your business is away from them, pretty much. So I'll show you what that looks like in this section with the actual physical location. So this is their physical location. As you can see, they've generated 14,290 impressions, generated 11 clicks, 38 driving directions. So driving directions is people clicking on that get directions button, which you can see is pretty powerful. Pretty much what I showed you is the business is adding this maps function to the existing search ads. So I'm going to sort of show you the requirements to get that set up, and then I'll quickly walk you through the process of setting that up, and then I'll share sort of the unique way that I've set this campaign up. So in order to get started and to use this feature, you are going to want to go ahead and set up a Google business profile. So a Google business profile is essentially just showing your business up on Google. You just click get started, fill in all the information. It's going to ask you information sort of about your business industry, where your location is. It's going to ask you other business details like your opening times, your mobile number, obviously your address, and then it is going to prompt you to verify it, and it's going to ask you to verify it in a number of ways, either by email, either by calls, or they might actually send a physical mail to your business location just so you can sort of confirm that it actually exists. Once you've sort of filled this out, this steps are pretty straightforward, so it's just a matter of clicking get started. I'll click on this and see what it opens up. Cool. So you're just adding your business name, your business category. You're going next. Just as an example here, I'm just gonna go test. I don't know if it's gonna go through. Let's just say marketing. See what happens. Hope this is not linked to my account. In this case, we'll say yes, because assuming you have a physical location that you are getting directions to. We'll click that. And you go yes. So essentially, you go ahead and fill this out. When you get to the end, it's going to ask you to verify it. Once your Google My Business is verified, I also want to mention that when you're setting this up, try and use the same email address that you're using on your Google account, just because it makes things so much easier to link those two together. So once your Google My Business is verified, your account is active, you want to head back into your Google account. When you're in your Google account, so in order to link your Google account to your Google My Business, head over to Tools, then go to Data Manager. This part is pretty straightforward, and you just want to click on Connect a Product. And then once you click on Connect a Product, you just search Google My Business and you click Link. If you're using the same email, there shouldn't be any issues. It should link pretty much straight away. Once it's linked straight away, then you'll have the ability to add that location assets to your existing campaigns. So once it's linked, if you can't find it, just come down here and you should see it sitting here. Search all, link that up, and then head back over to your campaigns. Select your campaign, and then you want to head to Assets. And once you're in Assets, click on Locations. And then if this is not showing up, click on this blue plus button. So this is already linked because this is that example account that I was showing you. So you click on your locations and you're just going to create a new location group if your location group isn't already there. So when you click new location group, your location from your Google My Business account will show up. Click on your location group, give it a name. Typically, if you have more than one location, this is where you would sort of use these location groups. So just as an example, like this example store I'm using is a furniture store, and they have a single showroom in Parramatta. But let's say they have multiple showrooms in different areas, and our campaigns were set to target different areas. So let's say they had another location in the eastern suburbs, then I would create a location group just for the eastern suburbs, and for my eastern suburbs campaign, I would assign that location group to it. In this case, they only have one location, so just select your one location, assign it to your campaign, and save. And it's pretty much as simple as that. That location will be attached to your campaign, to your existing campaign. So if you're running your search campaigns, add that location group to it, and it should be pretty much good to go. And then once your location group is sort of assigned and you've added that location group to your campaign, your location group will be active and you will start showing up in Google Maps for the keywords that you're bidding on. Pretty powerful, especially if you're a restaurant and you're bidding on best restaurants in city. When people are searching that up in the maps or even on Google search, they have the option to get directions directly to your restaurant, give you a call, or head to your website, and they can make a reservation that way as well. In this instance, this business was a bit unique because they solely just care about foot traffic to their physical location. So we went with a Performance Max campaign with the goal of just store visits, just local traffic essentially, right? So the way that this was set up and sort of the benefit of this campaign, I'll open the campaign and just give you an example of some of the previews of the ads. So you can see the previews of these ads and why we chose to go with the Performance Max instead of just the search campaign is we get the added benefit of all the other channels across Google, right? So not only will we be showing up in the maps and on search, we'll also be showing up in YouTube, just retargeting people that have either visited our website before or sort of or in that same industry or sort of, I guess, or categorized as being, I guess, having intent in that industry, as an example. More so, it's going to be the retargeting function of Performance Max. But you can see it's going to show up on YouTube. It's going to also show up on Gmail. It's going to show up on search, and it's going to show up on display as well. Display's really powerful because it's pretty much going to act as our remarketing function across of all of the partner websites in Google, which is over 2 million plus. Pretty powerful stuff. You can still see, even on display, it still sort of shows your headlines, but also gives the option to open up a map and for people to click on get directions directly on the map. Super powerful also because it is radius based sort of targeting. It's gonna show the ads primarily to people that are within the radius. The closer you are, probably the more likelihood that you're gonna see the ads, because the more likelihood that you're gonna click get directions and actually show up to the physical location. Being a PMax and a sort of conversion driven campaign, this is probably the best option. Also, you can see why this is pretty powerful. To set this up, if you wanted to test out running a Performance Max campaign as opposed to just a search campaign, what you do is you click on the plus icon, you go new campaign, you go local store visits and promotions, and then it'll pull up a Performance Max. These are your conversions. Your conversion goals are going to be automatically sort of generated for you, which is a plus, I guess. These are going to be your 2 goals. This is going to be the clicks to call, which is going to be that little call button inside the maps as well, also in search in some cases, and the get directions button that you've seen. Add your location. If you have your location group set up, add your individual location groups. In this case, this business only has 1 location, so I'm just going to click get all locations, then go next, and essentially you're just going to fill this out exactly as you would with a Performance Max campaign. Right, the only difference is just going to be this initial field here in the start when setting up, just adding your location feeds pretty much right away. So start new, you're going to focus on conversions, keep it as conversions when you start out. Later on you can choose to, ignore that bit. So bidding, you can focus on conversions, leave that as is. You don't have to change this in any way. I would just keep your customer acquisition open for new and existing customers. Cool, click next. Definitely I would turn off the automatically created assets. So automatically created assets is going to give Google essentially control to create its own headlines, descriptions, and send people to its own landing pages on your site. Usually this does work, and I have seen it work well, but I've also seen it work not so well, and should have generate random headlines and random descriptions, and just send people to random sort of sites, random URLs on your site. It's better to just turn this off. Enhance videos. So automatically created assets, I typically turn this off just because I've seen some instances where it's sending people to random pages on your site. It's also creating random headlines and random descriptions that just, in some cases, are irrelevant. Enhanced video. I'm okay with keeping this on. It's just going to enhance your videos. I haven't really seen too much issues there. Cool. And then you're just going to go next. And this next section is essentially just going to be setting up a Performance Max campaign, right? So you're going to add your URL, your headlines, your long headlines, your descriptions, and your images. And then here you'll just get a preview of where your ads are going to show up. So on search, as an example on mobile, right? So mobile is going to be, again, primarily where users are going to be using this function, just because people are going to click get directions. They're going to need their mobile on them when they're actually driving to your physical location. So this is what it looks like when people are actually searching on Google. So it's gonna show for your whatever keywords you're bidding on. It's gonna have your map sort of underneath it with the option to get directions to your location or to call your business. Display network is pretty much gonna have the same thing as I showed you those previews before. As you can see, these are going to be on partnered websites where your headlines and descriptions will show with your map, your business's open time, your location, get directions, store info. So they'll have the ability to go to your landing page, also directly call you or directly click on get directions, where it'll open up that map for them as well. So pretty powerful. Just go ahead and fill this out as you would with the standard Performance Max campaign, and then just save, add your budget, and just let it run. See how it performs. So a quick wrap up would be, what you're going to do is first create a Google My Business account if you don't have one, then get that verified, link that up to your Google Ads, and then set up a new asset, a location asset, and just assign that to your existing campaigns. If you found that video helpful, subscribe, like the video. If you have any questions, feel free to just comment below and I'll try and reply back to all of them.